Well, the sun's out, so it only means one thing. Solar panel day.
Feel it now every time I leave. It hits me hard and it cuts me deep. I'm a fire.
What a difference a day makes. Yesterday we started to put the cladding on the ceiling just to kind of see how far we would get, and by the end of the day we'd got this piece up pretty much. It was, I don't even know like why it took us so long, but we just couldn't get it to run straight, could we? We started from the centre, just kind of in front of the fan, and then worked our way kind of this way, and we noticed we deliberately left a gap between the ceiling and the wall cladding so that we could put some trim in there later on. But what we realised was that as this was coming down, the gap was getting smaller to the point where there was like no gap here. So putting trim all along wouldn't have been possible. And basically there was just a lot of back and forth. The cladding kept like not going into the groove, so the cladding wasn't like fitting together properly, which is a pain. We like snapped a few bits of cladding, and then anyway, in the end, I don't even know what we did. Oh, we just, should I show you the camera?
Yeah. So in the end, we took the whole side back down again, and that was about 6 o'clock, and then luckily enough, my dad came back from work, who is a builder and has done these things for years, and said, start from the right hand side, get it so, hang on, let me put that back, I need that there. Start from the right hand side and work over so that you give yourself an equal gap all the way along, and then just work from right all the way to left, and then on every piece just make sure you measure from here to a fixed point all the way along, and you know, if the distance is the same or slightly off, then that's fine. So yeah, that's what we did. We measured all the way along, or put each bit in, measured, and it's now working perfectly.
So after Ben's dad saved the day and just gave us some fresh eyes on what to do, today I've been finishing editing the video from last week, and when I came out at lunchtime, Ben had done pretty much half of the roof, and it looks awesome. So happy with it. Fits around the ceiling fan perfectly. Looks really good with the headliner. No, the book head, I keep calling it the headliner. So yeah, the plan for today is to get partly part of the other side done, but we are going to be leaving a space because we still need to mount our solar power, and that's going to be coming down through that side of the van, so we'll just leave a little bit of a gap, but we'll just get most of the cladding up if we can today.
Follow me now and be my friend.
We are sampling some of the stains for our cladding on the bulkhead. Now we've gone with Wood Finishes Direct again because they do supply some handy little samples that are not too expensive. So we've got 5 different options here, and we're going to try them out and see what we like. And this will probably also for the ceiling as well. So first one isn't that great, is it?
No.
Looks a bit of a shitty colour, that one. So I've just finished painting the little samples up, and I think we both really like this one, which is kind of like the darker one, but it isn't too dark, it isn't too orangey either, which is nice. This one is way too orange, that one's too light, so we can rule that one out. This one looks like it might dry quite orange. I do like this one, so this is oak and this is walnut, and the oak one is nice, but both of us are really leaning towards the darker walnut, so we'll see how they dry, and then we're going to hold them up against the wall and see what they look like.
Right, well that is the battery housings. They're nice and snug, they are not going anywhere. They do come out somewhere, they're not fixed in, but they do come out. So we're going to have, I'll give you a little bit of info. We're going to have our electrical board here. This is already what was coming down. Yeah, so just going to put, I don't know, 12mm ply, probably up to here, and then just above, and then we'll mount all the electrical stuff. So we've got, what have we got to mount? We've got the shoreline, which has got it's a separate circuit. So that'll be if we are, say like here at my dad's, we can plug into his mains, and then we can run all our power bypass all the batteries and run the power off mains power. Or if we had a generator, we could plug a generator in. We'll have here, or hopefully back here, the solar MPPT charge controller. We'll have a kill switch for the, or isolator switch for the batteries with the power going in. We'll have a couple of bus bars. Because we've got so many, well, because we've got 1, 2, 3, I think 4 things that need to go to the positive on one of the batteries. I'll probably go to this one. Rather than have all the wires go onto here and attached onto here, what we're going to do is have one live coming from here, going into a bus bar, and then all the other bits will go into the bus bar, so that they're all not clogging up there. And we'll have the same for all the negative, or the negatives from there as well. We'll have them all connected to a bus bar. We'll have the batteries linked up in parallel, so we've got double the ampage, but still 12 volts. I think. Oh no, we haven't researched much of it yet, but we will also have an inverter which will connect off here and probably mount on here, and then that will give us our 240 volt or 12 volt to 240 volt to charge things like our laptops. Well, the sun's out, so it only means one thing: solar panel day. Our solar panels have now turned up. We bought Renogy solar panels. We bought 3 160 watt, 360 watt solar panels with 40 watt MPPT. But today, now that we've got a nice bit of weather, we're going to fit them onto our roof racks. Only problem we've had is they come with mounting feet. We have to buy them separately, but they do come with mounting feet. They come with these mounting brackets, which every time fit on that way. Now, for these 2 holes, they line up perfectly for where we're going to drill and fix them to the roof bars. However, these 2 brackets don't. They actually just end up floating in midair. So what we need to do is drill or measure up. We've already got one up because we tested it because we didn't want to cock it up, so we've got one up. So I need to measure up to, I think it's about here. I think it was what, 365?
367.
367 mil. And then we'll just drill a new hole using one of these little metal drill bits, or little cone bits. So I don't know what size we needed. So we had these cone bits anyway. And then so we just drill it up to the second rung. And then we can mount the brackets, and then we'll countersink them into the roof bars.
You've been running through my mind, and I've been thinking that it's just about time we get together, right? So come on, come on. So come on. I've been doing just fine. Hey, you've been doing alright. Let's get together, right? So come on.
Because the bracket's so wide, and normally you mount these on a flat surface, old van or anything, you would use the brackets and bolts to go in there. But because we can't, all we're doing is pre-drilling some holes and then using some strong self-tapping screws, fixing it down.
Nice, they look good.
Looks really good. Time to put the last one on, connect the cables up, and then work out where we're going to drill the hole for the cables to come through. We think we know where it's going to go. There's the housing, rock solid. Drill the hole, put the cables through, somewhere in all of this. So, there you go. So, because we're going to have to drill through the roof of the van, and these cables are going to come in. Obviously, we'll clean off the hole we're going to cut, hammerite it, but then we're going to apply this O-ring to around it. That will sit in around the metal, so that when the wires go in, they're not rubbing or cutting onto the roof of the van. That's the plan. Let's get this up. Right guys, all the panels are in, but now we need to fit, where are you? There, all the cables through here. So I'm going to hammer right around here. Then I've got this O-ring I'm going to cut to size and put in. Feed the cables through the housing, which is going to sit here. And then, that's it, we're done.
I just can't do it without you. I just can't do it without you. Oh.
Okay, so I'm not sure where we got to, but we now have the cables in and the housing is drying. We've got the cables in. Now these are going to run down, and well, we've got the 10-foot cables. We thought that would be plenty of slack to run it in along, but I was completely wrong. So once the housing's dried, no, rewind a little bit. So I was completely wrong with the amount of slack, well, the amount of cable we needed. I ordered the 10-foot where we could actually have the 25-foot cable. So I've ordered the 25-foot cable. When that comes next week, Monday or Tuesday, we'll take this cable back out and put the new one in, just because it can run down all the way down to where our electrical box is going to be. Because at the moment, the cable only comes down to here, and there's not enough room there to, you know, put up storage and mount the MPPT. So, slight cock up, but nothing to worry about. We can just swap the cables over really easily. You don't have to take the housing off, just unscrew the watertight nut or watertight bolts, pull it out, put the new cable in. So the solar power's in. Don't know if it works yet, but we'll find out maybe in a couple of weeks when we come to wiring everything else up. We've got a few carpentry bits to do next week, and then yeah, electric's probably in a couple of weeks' time. So we will leave this week's video here, and we will see you next week. Bye.
I just can't do